crowd in the audience tonight, so that's okay. I know there's a lot going on at the end of the school year. There's sports going on. There's the spring sports are getting ready to go up to. They'll go up to Murfreesboro. You got prom coming up this weekend, and then all of a sudden, you got your graduations and all that. So I know it's a busy time for everybody, especially for the teachers. But there's one good news is that all about this. We have one more day of TCAPs. Yeah, that's great. And then after TCAPs, I think it's a countdown, right? I mean, I think the teachers go by the hour, to get this school year out of work. But needless to say, it's been a great school year. TCAPs are almost over. Now it's all about counting down to the summer vacation, graduations, and for those outstanding tests that are going to come in through all of our schools. And I know they're going to be outstanding as they do every year. So, being said that, I'd like to start out the meeting with a moment of silence and saying that, just kind of go forward and just keep in mind that we do have a couple more weeks to go for the school year, and just make sure everybody is safe and throughout our continuation of that, and also kind of look back on where we have been, and just thank God that everything went smooth and we had a great school year, but going forward, we thank everybody for doing that. So just in a moment of silence for that, and then after I'll have the pledge. Thank you. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please call roll.
Caruso.
Here.
Daniel. Dryden.
Here.
Hartsfield.
Here.
Jacobs. Mabry.
Here.
Neidert.
Here.
Rochelle. Weathers.
Here.
6 present, 3 absent.
We have a quorum for tonight. Before I get going with the agenda, we have, I believe we have 2 items that need to be scratched from them. And the first one is on the recognition. On the last one is the board membership recognition. And on the second one, it's on item number 4 under the budget item, and it's number 5 for the concrete pads for the 6 greenhouses funding sources. Does any board member have anything to add? Very good. I will.
Mr. Crusoe?
Go ahead.
Isn't this the second time we've removed this from the agenda?
I'm not sure.
Yes, sir.
What's the problem?
Well, we received a bid that was opened yesterday that we were not satisfied with the pricing that was given. We had 1 bid and we're not satisfied with the
Okay.
others. So we're going to continue to search.
Is that, are there any other questions regarding the deletions or there's no more added?
Which one was it?
It was under the budget item on number 4 on the second page. On number 5,
Okay.
the concrete pads.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So tonight on recognition, we have a retired education would be Mr. Kirk Weathers.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Atkins, Mr. Tucker, Mr. Zellage, Chairman Crusoe, and fellow board members for allowing me to present tonight. Elizabeth Liz Green graduated from Florence State University, which is now University of North Alabama, in 1963 with a Bachelor's of Science degree with a major in vocational education and a minor in science. She then taught in Alabama high school home economics for 6 years and 1 year of sixth grade before in the fall of 1969, she took the home economics position at Florida High School. This position she stayed in till the 76-77 school year, to which she took a year leave of absence because back then you could not be pregnant and apparently teach, and now we pretty much let you have the baby, whenever you need to. She took a year leave off to have her son Lance. In 1978, she got a call from J.C. Barnett telling her that there was a position coming open, that it was recommended that it have a home economics degree. She applied for that position even though she did not know what the position was at all. She just knew that she loved being an educator and it was her purpose in life. The position that she applied for and got was child nutrition supervisor. She then went to UT Martin and received her food service certification. She began the position with approximately 18 schools, which consolidated down to, I think 12 is we have right now, is what she consolidated down to. At that time, the smaller schools were limited on their choices for lunch because I didn't realize this till it was explained to me that the bigger schools like Lawrence County High School had all these options because they could place bigger orders. So she centralized purchasing, where she went out to the schools the week before and got everybody's individual order, and then she placed one big order for the whole county and had it delivered to each individual school, which allowed all the schools to have the same variety of options. Excuse me. She also took over, as far as to get the accountability right for the federal guidelines for the child nutrition program, she centralized the free and reduced lunch application to the central office rather than the principals having to take care of that. And it got us better accountability because it allowed us to come up with the computer system with the numbers where the students had their own number that kind of kept it confidential on who was getting free and reduced lunches, kind of made it anonymous per se. And Liz also incorporated the offer versus serve versus giving students just this, and this. They had options of a salad bar, a pizza line, a hot food line, a sandwich line. And in this deal, she also instituted the breakfast program that we have still today. With all these things being said, to me, it's a difference maker when somebody does not want to take credit for things that they do. And she made it clear to me numerous times in our conversations that everything that was accomplished by her was only accomplished because of the excellent cafeteria managers that she had working with her and her secretary and bookkeeper at central office. She didn't do the stuff by herself, and I think that's admirable when somebody doesn't take credit for something that they were the ringleader of. Whenever Florida High School built their new cafeteria, she played an integral role in the layout and design of which was one of the top designed cafeterias in Middle Tennessee at one time. With all this being said, since this award can only be given to a person one time, I am honored to be the person to present the Ethel Young Benson Award to Miss Liz Green.
Okay, are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Next on recognition tonight is a student recognition from Loretta High School. Dr. Williams.
Before I do our present our student of the month, I just need to say, Ms. Green, in case the board members are not aware, she pretty much is a permanent staple of Loretta High School. She is the substitute who we always rely on. I think every day she leaves, Officer Thomason says, "I guess we'll see you tomorrow," doesn't he, every day? And he's like, "Now, when are you going to be put back on the payroll?" Because, I mean, she's always there, but she's amazing. We can depend on her. And Mr. Weathers, I didn't know all that about her background, talking about how humble she is, because she doesn't brag about the things she's done. She's just wonderful. So we enjoy her being at Loretta High School and hope that she continues to sub as long as she can.
Well, as long as, I told somebody the other day, as long as they let this old lady come in, I will.
Oh, we will. We welcome you.
But I just want to say one thing. Teaching had to be my profession. And I grew up in a classroom with a family of teachers. And when I went to college, I was never going to be a teacher. But I loved it, and that's all. And all these kids are just like my grandkids. And I love them, and that's exactly why I get up and go every morning. And I can say no, though.
That's true. That's true. We appreciate you, and you don't say no very often, so we appreciate you, and the kids love you too.
Mr. Dryden, I see up several of my backbone I had when I was in board. Thank you so much for this award. I feel very honored.
Well, I know it wasn't up to me, but I know you're very deserving, and everybody in our school building would agree.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I just had to interject. Thank you for the opportunity tonight to recognize one of our many amazing students. Anna Kate Cheatham, who is a sophomore, was chosen by our faculty and staff as our LHS Student of the Month. She's the daughter of Kevin and Lindsay Cheatham of Loretta. She is enrolled in honors classes, makes exceptional grades, is a member of the FBLA, FCA leadership team, Interact Pep Club, the Lady Mustangs volleyball team, and was voted Miss Class by her peers the past 2 years. She is always friendly, respectful, and kind to everyone. One of her teachers, Miss Mary Pack, had this to say about Anna Kate. She has a never-ending smile consistently. She's welcoming to all students and gets along very well with everyone. She can fit in with any group of people, both students and adults. She has a very strong work ethic and is dedicated to her academic goals. Her assignments are well thought out and detail-oriented. She accepts constructive criticism well and is always looking for ways to improve. And Miss Trish Moore said, "I would describe Anna Kate as an extreme perfectionist when it comes to academic skills, sports, and most likely anything in which she participates. She's very self-motivated and exceedingly driven. Anna Kate works hard to accomplish goals she sets for herself. Additionally, she's respectful and a polite young lady with so many talents." Anna Kate Cheatham is definitely deserving of this award. It's my pleasure to present her as our Loretto High School Student of the Month. And I would like to add, I think that the awesomeness runs in her family, because I believe her younger sister was here for South Lawrence recently.
Come on out front. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Moving on, next is a public comment, and I believe I don't have any of those. So we'll move on to consent items, and I'd like to have a motion from A to E.
Motion to approve A through E.
Second.
We got a motion to approve A through E consent items. Are there any questions?
Mr. Crusoe.
Go ahead.
Ms. Ellis, how much fund balance do we have at this time?
Currently, I would tell you, with the sales tax that we've collected so far, we're at about $14 million.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Moving on to report items. School report is Dr. Williamson again, Loretta High School.
Good evening again. Thank you for the opportunity for allowing me to come tonight and discuss some of the many wonderful things that we have happening at Loretta High School. I do believe you should all have a report of this in your Google Drive. Rather than start with data, I wanted to look at some of our early post-secondary opportunities. I know many times you hear the term EPSOs, and this is one of the things that we are graded on from the state. It's actually a Ready Grad indicator, and I'll mention that later on. But I just wanted you to be aware of some of the opportunities that we have for our students. Even though we are a smaller school, we have many, many opportunities for them to excel. With statewide dual credit, you can see that we offer 4 classes in this, and with our statewide dual credit psychology, last school year, 8 out of the 24 students, which was 33%, passed the challenge exam, which allowed them to earn credit in the state of Tennessee. The state of Tennessee doesn't make these exams very easy for students, and the statewide pass rate is usually 4 or 5%. So for us to have 33%, that was amazing, and that was the top passing rate in the entire state. So we're very proud of that. You can see the local dual credit options that we offer. Advanced placement, we have government, psychology, and U.S. history on our campus, but students have many opportunities to take other AP courses online through AP Access for All. I do believe we have a senior graduating this time who has taken 6 AP courses during his time. I think 3 or 4 of those have been online, so our students do take advantage of this. Dual enrollment, I feel like we as a district have come leaps and bounds in this in the previous years, but especially at Loretta High School, and some of this is through our CTE department. We have welding, plumbing, electric, and then residential and commercial construction through TCAT Pulaski. Those are TCAT instructors on our campus. We have farming operations technology that works in cooperation with TCAT Crump, cosmetology, digital arts and design. Those are all through TCAT programs. Human growth and development through UNA was added this school year. A teacher on our campus teaches that, and for the first time for us to have this, we had 20 students in that class, all of which earn credit. And then back at the top with Columbia State, we have always had Comp 1 and Comp 2 on our campus, but we have been able to add statistics, calculus, and 2 classes of U.S. history also. So this is a huge help to our students. We do still have students who go to Columbia State and UNA and take classes, and we also have students who participate in the TCAT industrial maintenance and CNC programs here in Lawrenceburg. So as you can see, many of our students leave Loretta High School with many credits toward their post-secondary, whether that be academic or technical. Then you can see on the next page all the industry certifications we offer, and I know you're very aware of this and how much this sets our students apart from other school districts. We're fortunate to have a district that believes so much in CTE and giving our students every opportunity for them to be successful in their next steps. Now, one of the big pieces of information that you've been listening to in recent weeks is the Reward School recognition. And Loretta High School was named a Reward School for last school year. 400, I believe, schools around the state are named Reward Schools, but only about 60 of those are high schools. I counted because I was curious, because you always hear about elementary schools, but not many high schools. I think just the requirements for that are a little bit more difficult to meet at the high school level. So we were excited about this, very thankful for our staff and our students on their hard work. Part of what made us a reward school, you'll see some of the data listed in the table. You can see where Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Biology, all of our EOC courses are listed, but those there with an asterisk, the Algebra 2, Biology, and English 2, we were the highest in the district out of those 3 subject areas, 3 out of the 3 high schools of students who met or exceeded expectations. Then our TVOS growth, we were an overall composite level 3, which was equal to the district. Algebra 1 was a 5. You can see other levels there. And then on our chronic absenteeism, we were at a 14.7%, which we did increase a little bit from the previous year. That's not really the rate that you want to increase, but we were still lower than the district rate of 19.6, and we had the best rate out of all 3 high schools. Our Ready Grad, which I did mention earlier, this takes into account those students with the 21 or higher on the ACT, takes into account the early post-secondary opportunities they participate in, dual enrollment, industry certifications, and we had 70.8% of the class of 2022, because this is lag data. Again, that was the highest of the 3 high schools. And then you can see our grad rate, which now is split into a state and federal rate, and again, we were the highest of the 3 high schools. Advanced placement exams, some of these are online. You can see, in addition to the statewide dual credit psychology that I had mentioned earlier, our AP psychology had an 83% pass rate this past spring. Our post-secondary going rate maintains in the 70% range, and a lot of that is attributed to our AIRS counselors. As you know, all 3 high schools are very fortunate to have the AIRS Foundation counselors at our school. They help with FAFSA, scholarship applications, college applications, chase the students down when we need someone to, and just pretty much help them with all things post-secondary. Because I can say right now, as a parent of a senior, it's a lot. So it's nice to have that support at the school level from our guidance counselors and our AIRS counselors. They're very helpful for our students. Then, as you know, this year, and this attributes to you, and I want to thank you for this, implementing the career coach, Mr. Adkins and Ms. Watson. This has been another blessing that I think all 3 high schools have seen. Our career coaches, that's just another person there, another support system for our students. They help them to figure out which pathway they want to take in life, which CTE programs they're most interested in, help them with their future career goals. They take them on field trips. They bring in folks for career lunches. They're working on hiring fairs, career expos. It's just, again, another resource for our students, and it has been a great resource at Loretta High School. I mentioned all of our dual enrollment opportunities earlier. You can see our data from last year on the students who participated and the number of credit hours that they earned. ACT, we all know, is a requirement for graduation. This is another area we work really hard on. We offer our students many incentives. Then we also have ACT prep sessions where we hire someone to come in and teach those. And then this year we've added an ACT prep course. We had 4 sections of that, so anywhere between 80 and 90 students participated in that, and the majority of those students saw an increase. Our ACT scores have predominantly been somewhere in that 18 range for the composite. I do believe the information that's still embargoed, we may have seen a little bit of a decline, but we are working to improve that. We have many things that we're going to try to do to get those scores back up. I think that's the struggle at all 3 high schools and probably across the state, if I'm being honest. You see that we participate in the Columbia State Academic Competition, and most of our students place in that. We send students to the Youth in Government and Model United Nations conferences. We're the only high school that does this. This gives students hands-on experience with legislative procedures and parliamentary law. It's a great experience for them to network with other students. We now have 11 CTE focus areas, which I feel like is phenomenal for a school our size. Again, thank you to the board members who allow us to have all these amazing programs. This year we added digital arts and design. I was just in there yesterday. Everything that they do in that class is phenomenal. That's been a huge asset to Loretta High School. Students are really enjoying that. After only having that 1 year, her numbers have grown leaps and bounds for next year, so we're excited about that. You can see we have many CTE student organizations. Our virtual enterprise continues to receive many accolades throughout the year, both locally, regionally, and internationally. Health science, 100% of our students who took the CNA exam passed. Skills USA, last week one of our carpentry students placed gold in the secondary cabinetry competition. so he now will be able to go to nationals. We believe strongly in community service. Our seniors participate in what we call Lends a Hand Day. That actually will be week after next, where they go out into our community. Because you all know, in a small community, we rely on our community heavily for, help with our schools and support, which they give, very willingly. So we try at least one day a year, to go and give back a portion of what those businesses and churches and community members have given to us. So they'll go around doing service tasks. Our Beta Club continues to raise money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. This year they raised over $16,000. Our Student Council collects money throughout the year for Angel Tree, and they purchase Christmas gifts with those for students in need. And we have, a food pantry, we have a Christmas store, and other outreach activities that we're involved in. Our band continues to excel, receiving superior and excellent ratings. Fine Arts program, we have a great creative writing and theater program that offers additional opportunities for students. And our athletic teams also continue to strive and excel. I'm very proud of our students and our staff for their hard work, their dedication. We do have a wonderful group of students and educators, and I do want to thank you, board members, for your dedication to our students of Lawrence County. And I do want to thank you again for the hard work that went into the construction of our new gym. That's something we've been very proud to use this year, and have this new facility for our students. Do you want to have any questions?
Any questions for Dr. Williamson?
All right, thank you.
Well, keep up the outstanding work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is the personnel report. I believe that was in your packet. Are there any questions regarding personnel? Moves, changes? Moving on to item C is Director's Update. Mr. Atkins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our budget season is underway. I remind you of the work session on May 6th. That is scheduled for 5 o'clock in this room. Ongoing discussions with County Executive Morgan and his team have continued. We started that in December, talking about future growth, capital projects. Mrs. Elledge and I met with him and his team earlier this week. We continue to monitor our enrollment strategies, trying to begin addressing enrollment in a more productive manner. We also are looking at a major request from our principals, the tutoring program, the interventionist program that has had a significant impact on student performance. And again, the principals had asked for that in their budget request, that we find a way to fund the All-Core and ESSER programs. As you know, the funding is drying up from the state and the national, but Mrs. Elledge and Mrs. Ridgway have found a way for us to fund a good bit of that, not at the level that we were, but what I believe is something for the system to be proud of. Not everyone has that opportunity, nor made that a priority as Lawrence County School District did. So I appreciate Mrs. Elledge and Mrs. Ridgway's work on that. Our enrollment is steady. We're still awaiting the information from the request for qualifications on a study for capacity and future growth. We'll share that once that is submitted to us. I believe that's June 13th is the date that is to be sent to us. You may have heard that the Universal School Choice or Education Freedom Scholarships did not make it to the floor for a vote. I expect that to return at some point. It could be next January. It could be sometime before the fiscal year. Not sure, but I will keep the board posted on that. One other piece of legislation that has a lot of folks concerned, and rightly so, is the handgun carry bill that is awaiting the governor's signature. I've requested some information from TSBA, TOSS, and others. That has not become a public chapter yet, so the legislation, the wording is not finalized, but once we receive that, I will review that and share with the board. The school system did publish a statement about that. We understand and appreciate the governor and the House and Senate's focus on safety, but there are a lot of unanswered questions with that need to be addressed before it goes any further. So when I know more, I will share with the board. We are in the throes, I guess, of state mandated testing 3 through 11. That is underway now. Our folks have done an outstanding job, been in the schools this week, following the protocols, testing security. Our folks always do a good job with that. I recently shared with the employees the proposed salary schedules for faculty and staff as just a draft that they understand that still requires board approval. There's still several things that have to take place. And I've been out in the schools and several of the folks have come by just to simply ask me to share with you how much they appreciate your continued effort to address salaries in the school system. So upcoming events for you that I think important if you can attend. Monday is our CTE recognition, 5 p.m. at Crockett Theater, historic Crockett Theater. That was our largest attended event last year. It was a sold out, if we sold out. It was a packed house. It's a great event to recognize. Not many districts recognize the work of our CTE folks. Our students and our staff do come out and be a part of that. It's maybe an hour if that. We move through pretty quickly, but it is a night to recognize CTE. Tuesday night is our work ethics distinction, and then Thursday night is our excellence in education. All of those begin at 5 o'clock at historic Crockett Theater. Received information last night from Lieutenant Dorning of the SRO team, where he shared with me a video about the sheriff's office's Cops and Bobbers, a fishing excursion where they took students out into the community for fishing last Saturday. That's on our Facebook page, the Lawrence County School System Facebook page. Just wanted to thank those folks for investing in our students and making a difference in the lives of our kids. When you have bus drivers, food service, teachers, aides, bookkeepers, all of the folks in the Lawrence County School System realize they have an opportunity to make a difference in the life of a child, and they do it. And we have great things happening in this system because of great people working with their kids each and every day. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Michael. Moving on to report items is D, LCEA, and I don't think a representative is here for that. Are there any questions regarding that? I'll see if we can answer, but not here. And also the Tennessee Legislative Network representative is not here, but I will entertain any questions regarding them too, if you have any. Moving on to consideration items, number 3, we have executive committee items to discuss and action. We have 3 on there. One was already approved for a color guard going to Western Kentucky, and the other 2 were within the ESSER 3.0 budget, and I believe those also was approved due for federal funds. Are there any questions regarding any of the executive committee orders?
I'd like to move that we approve as presented.
Second.
And then motion carried. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? So be. Moving on to item 4, budget for consideration. First one on there is Summertown High School multi-purpose HVAC bid. Mr. Atkins.
Mr. Chairman, this is continuing with a commitment the board made once the gym at Summertown, that older gym, was taken down due to some safety concerns. We made the commitment to replace that with a multi-purpose type facility, and this is simply getting the material, the units, and our local maintenance HVAC team will install.
Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to adopt.
Question.
Can I get let me have a second first.
Okay.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a
Second.
second? I got a motion and a second. Go ahead with your question.
Are we still within what we said we were gonna spend on that facility by approving this? Was it
Where we,
$50,000 or something where we?
yeah, we still have a few things that were not in the original, but all of this is in that original proposal. Yes, sir.
Any further questions? Please call roll.
Caruso,
Aye.
Dryden,
Yes.
Hartsfield,
Yes.
Mabry,
Aye.
Nidert,
Yes.
Weathers,
Yes.
6 ayes.
Motion carries. Moving on to item number 2, New Prospect paving parking lot for bid. Mr. Atkins.
Mr. Chairman, this is just a continuation from our efforts to pave all the parking lots in the Lawrence County School System. This is one that has been on the table for about 2 years. We had some concerns out there. We've addressed those concerns and ready to move forward.
Move we approve. Second.
Got a motion and a second. On the questions, please call roll.
Weathers,
Yes.
Nodert,
Yes.
Mabry,
Aye.
Hartsfield,
Yes.
Dryden,
Yes.
Caruso,
Yes.
6 ayes.
Motion carries. Moving on to item number 3, the E.O. Kaufman Greenhouse Construction Funding Source Innovative Grant. Mr. Atkins.
Mr. Chairman, we have these popping up across our campuses through the Innovative School Grant that Mrs. Watson put together for us. I know Kaufman has one up and going, Leoma's in the process, and so this is just a continuation of that commitment to provide our students with greenhouse on campus.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Are there any further questions? Very well. Please call roll.
Caruso,
Yes.
Dryden,
Yes.
Hartsfield,
Yes.
Mabry,
Aye.
Nodert,
Yes.
Weathers,
Yes.
6 yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to item 4, same as E.O. Kaufman. This is South Lawrence Greenhouse Construction. Funding source is the same innovative grant. Mr. Atkins.
And, Mr. Chairman, the same previous statement that these are our commitment to our students in those schools to offer a greenhouse experience for our students.
Very well. Do I have a motion to approve? Motion. You got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion to approve in a second. Are there any further questions? Please call roll.
Weathers,
Yes.
Nodert,
Yes.
Mabry,
Aye.
Hartsfield,
Yes.
Dryden,
Yes.
Caruso,
Yes.
6 yes.
Motion carries. As stated earlier in the agenda, number 5 was scratched. And now number 6 is 5, Summertown High School Sports Facility Constructions, Phase 1. And Mr. Atkins.
Mr. Chairman, we have put this information out for bid for the work to begin on creating the Summertown High School football stadium. And before you are the 3 bids. I think there's 3 bids in there.
No, it's only one.
Only 1 bid, but there's some information from
Sorry.
the folks that specifies why we're going with the one we are. A lot of the work inside this Phase 1 also carries over into Phase 2, and Mr. Tucker and I are sorting through that and working through that, but upon completion of Phase 1, a good portion of this stadium would be completed, and hopefully we could see our kids have their own football field at Summertown High School and possibly play a game in the 25 season, maybe week 7, 8, 9, something like that. Can't promise that, but that is a hope of ours.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move we adopt.
Have a motion and a second. Do I have a second?
Second.
We got a motion to approve and a second. Do we have any questions about Phase 1 on the football facility at Summertown? I do have one comment question. Now, during the Phase 1, and you stated that most of it will be built on Phase 1, is that correct?
Yes, sir. A lot of the groundwork in Phase 1 will help expedite Phase 2 work. So it kind of ties in really well. Mr. Tucker has spearheaded that and done a great job of making sure that it's a lot of, I don't want to say it lightly, but a plug-and-play approach after Phase 1. And we feel real good about where we are with that.
So Phase 2 would be what?
Phase 2 would involve some bleachers, scoreboard, the basic necessities of a football stadium, restrooms and concessions, that sort of thing.
So can you play without Phase 2?
Field will be ready.
Yeah, you can
The
play.
stands will not?
You won't have anywhere to sit, but the field will
Or
be ready.
concessions, or bathrooms, or, so we need to probably caution about playing after Phase 1 and not 2. Go ahead.
But what about I call them the field houses, where they go and
That's
all
probably,
those things, that won't be completed then?
no, that'll be further down.
Yeah, there's no buildings, bleachers and buildings,
Yeah.
nothing in this phase,
Yeah.
but everything else.
Well, that's good. I mean, if they're willing to play on Phase 1, let's do it. I mean, I don't have a problem.
I do.
About restrooms, would be
Go
like.
go ahead, Kurt.
Like the other field?
We need
Will,
to do a phase two. We'll have to do this phase.
Okay.
Yeah.
will Lawrence County government be involved in phase two? Have they said anything about, where they pitched in on this first phase, will they pitch in on the second phase?
Our discussions with them back in December, January, February, and most recently, we have a good feeling, feel like we've got a lot of support from county government, that they understand the need up there and want to make sure that our kids have their own football field, so to speak. So yes, I feel pretty good about it.
That's good.
Please call roll.
Caruso,
Aye.
Dryden,
Yes.
Hartsfield,
Yes.
Mabry,
Aye.
Noddert,
Yes.
Weathers,
Yes.
6 yes.
Motion approved. Moving on to other items, resolutions opposing state voucher plan. Mr. Atkins.
Mr. Chairman, this was brought up, it's been brought up throughout the state by other districts. We wanted to wait and see what the governor's plan was, and it there was really not a true governor's plan ever issued, because you had a House bill, a Senate bill, and a governor's proposal. And so now that we know that item is taken off the table, but we do expect it to return at some point, Vice Chair Neidert asked me to share with the board and present that, and I'll yield to him.
Mr. Knight.
Well, what my thinking is on this is, since we're in the public education business, I think we need to try to support any way we can, public schools and our teachers of Lawrence County. And there's just some unanswered questions right now, and until we see what effects it's going to have on our local school systems, I think we need to just be aware of that. So I'm just opposing what I've seen so far until they work this whole deal out somehow. I think we'd have to oppose it.
Any further questions? Go ahead, Mike.
And if the board chooses to take action tonight, we would just simply send this to the TOS organization, Tennessee Organization of School Superintendents, for them to file on our behalf, that the Lawrence County Board of Education is opposed to education freedom scholarships as they're proposed. And then next year, if we need to bring another one up in support or in opposition, we will do that too.
Do I have a motion to move forward with this resolution?
Motion to move forward.
I have a motion to move. Do I have a second?
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Are any questions? Before we vote, I would like to also make a statement on the record. So if this is not going to the legislation in this session, and it could be brought up in the next 6 months, is it necessary for us to go with this resolution opposing it, or should we wait? Or do this, sign it, and then bring up another one when it comes up again? Mr. Atkins?
I would say that's really the board's discretion, how they would like to proceed and make their voice known. If you're strong feeling towards the support of public education, I don't see that there's anything wrong with putting that together and sending that to the appropriate officials now. And then the next time it comes up, January, February, March of 25, the board could reconsider another motion or another resolution opposing it or supporting it, whatever the temperature of the board was at that time.
I agree. I agree with your statements. Are there any other questions regarding this? Please call roll.
Weathers,
Yes.
Noddert,
Yes.
Mabry,
Aye.
Hartsfield,
As of this time, I'm passing.
Dryden,
Yes.
Caruso,
Before I say my vote, the only reason why I'm saying on my vote is because I will not be on the board when this goes through this session, and I have strong feelings towards this, and being on the board now, I would say yes, but as my vote tonight on this is no.
So we have 4 yes, 1 no, and 1 pass.
Motion carries. Moving on to B, naming a facility of Loretta High School football stadium for Charles Butch Toner. Mr. Atkins.
All right, Mr. Chairman, before you is a request for, and direction from the board for me to pursue the board policy and procedure. A request has been made that the Loretta football stadium be named after former coach Butch Toner and his success down there and his character as a coach and as a man, as an educator. All I'm asking of the board is for me to begin that process, to pursue that, fulfill the policy, bring back that information once satisfied, and then present it to the board for consideration. I'm just acknowledging and notifying you that that has been made, a request has been made, and that I plan to pursue that unless the board tells me otherwise.
Do we have a motion to approve for
Motion.
Mr. Atkins to pursue? We have a
Second.
motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Please move forward on that. And going forward on number C, the next board meeting will be May 6th, and that's a work session for the budget. And do we need to push that back to 5:30 or since? I think we need to, so let's push that, without any objections, I would like to push that back to 5:30. Is that okay with everybody? That's here. Okay, good. So on May 6th, 2 weeks, we'll push that back to 5:30, at the board on the work session. And on number D, the regular meeting will be May 23rd at 5:30. Are there any questions regarding anything on the item agenda tonight? Go ahead.
I got something that relates to sports. Do our school, I know how it used to be. My question is, do our school buses still transport students to athletic events, or is that the responsibility of parents?
It's the parents are typically called on to do because of the departure time for the buses. The buses are committed to running those routes to get kids home in the afternoon.
Right.
And so currently we do not have enough drivers, though we may have enough buses to accommodate that. We've asked the coaches to get their CDL so that that could become a part of the process, but we just don't have the manpower to say, take the buses and take these 3 or 4 athletic teams throughout the county and get the students home in the afternoon. So there's a shortage there, but we have sometimes when that does happen. If it's a later game in the afternoon, night game, they might be able to do that, but early departures from school prevent that.
So actually, we still do, if I'm hearing you correctly, we still do when it's possible.
When it's possible.
Yeah, okay,
And
very good.
It's a challenge, though. It's a challenge. If we had more coaches with
And
CDLs.
I can see, but somebody just questioned me about that, and I wasn't sure how to respond.
Yeah, the CDLs of the coaches is something that Mr. Rogers and I have pushed pretty heavily, told them that we would pay for it, we would help them if in some of that, but there hadn't been many takers, just a few.
There's no problem that the coaches drive.
If they're CDL, they,
Right.
yes, yeah.
Very well. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Do I have a second?